Hey guys, so we are going to learn about inequalities, so not the equal sign today. We're going to learn about writing them, graphing them, and testing inequalities. So the first things first, we need some vocabulary to understand what inequalities are. So again, inequalities are expressions that use four different symbols that are not the equal sign. The first symbol is pointing to the left, and we call this strictly less than. And when you have a strictly less than symbol, it means when you go to graph this, you are going to have an open dot, and you are going to point to the left. So it'll look something like this, an open dot, and you are going to shade or point towards the left side. Now, I'm sorry about my non-straight line there. Don't judge. Okay. Now, notice how this next symbol looks exactly the same, except it has this little line under it. So this is what we call less than or equal to. So that's the bottom part of the equal sign, hence why we have to have that part that says or equal to. When you go to graph something that has this symbol in it, this less than or equal to symbol, we will use not an open dot, but a closed dot. And you will point towards the left, since that is the way the symbol is facing. It's pointing towards the left direction. So we're going to have a closed dot here because of that symbol, and we can sketch our pointing to the left. Now let's flip the script here and let's do this symbol. This symbol is the greater than symbol, and greater than is going to have an open dot, and it will point to the right, since that's the way the symbol is pointing. It's pointing this direction towards the right. So my open circle would be here, and then I point in the right-hand direction. And last but not least, we have this last symbol, which is the greater than or equal to symbol. Greater than or equal to. And this guy will take a closed dot, and you'll point towards the right again, since that's the symbol for greater than. It points towards the right. But if it has that little equal portion at the bottom, the line underneath, it means that I'm a filled in or closed dot. So notice how less than or equal to and greater than or equal to have closed dots. Meanwhile, just less than and just greater than are open dots. And the way we face or draw our arrow depends on which way our symbol is pointing towards. All right, so take a look at writing an inequality with me. You guys actually have been familiar with inequalities for quite a long time. Let me prove it to you. To earn a B in a class, your final grade must be at least an 80%, okay? Or an 80 as your point system. So to write an inequality, you could make this as X is your grade, and my grade has to be at least 80. That means the lowest I can be is 80. So I'm going to put the 80 as my indicator, at least 80. But to have a B, guys, you can also have a bigger value than 80, all the way up until 89, because then at 90, you end up getting an A. So according to this, the symbol that I would use is the least amount is 80, but I can be anything bigger than 80 as well. So the sign I would use is greater than or equal to. The equal to means that I can be at an 80 and have a B, but greater means that I can be larger than 80 as well and get a B still. Now in number 2, I did make a quick change. This is Ben jogs less than 20 miles per week. So if he's jogging, we could call our variable X. And he's jogging 20 miles per week, but he's jogging less than that. So clearly we are jogging smaller than 20 miles per week, which means that this is literally less than. You even see the phrase less than in there. Now, since I had to change it there, my bad. So specifically, we would use just the less than sign, meaning he can't actually reach 20 miles per week. It's any number smaller than 20. So maybe he jogs 18 miles a week, or maybe he only jogs 2 miles a week, any number less than 20. All right, now let's take a look at a couple of our other examples for testing inequalities and graphing inequality. So testing an inequality is either going to make a true statement or a false statement. So let's look at number 3 and number 4 examples. So number 3, we have t divided by 7 is less than or equal to -2. And right now we're told that t is 7. So in place of t, we are literally going to insert 7. So 7 divided by 7, we are checking, is that less than or equal to -2? Is that true or false? Well, 7 divided by 7 is 1. And the question is 1 smaller than or equal to -2? And I'm hoping you guys are thinking that out loud in your heads on your number line. Is +1 less than or to the left of -2? And the answer is, heck no! This is not true. A +1 is bigger than -2, not less than. So if it's not true, that means that this guy is false as your final answer. All right, so let's look at number 4. Number 4 says n plus 4 is greater than 6, and we know that n is 12. Okay, so in place of n, let's put in 12. So 12 plus 4, is that greater than 6 is what we're testing. So 12 plus 4 ends up giving us 16. And is 16 greater than 6? I would hope so, right? So this guy is, in fact, true. Not too shabby, right? You're just telling whether or not your numbers are less than or equal to, or is this number bigger than or equal to what you have? All right, now the last part is graphing your inequalities. So in order to graph, you will need to draw a number line. And not only will you draw the number line, guys, but I always want you to put whatever this number is in the middle of your number line. So we're going to put -3 smack dab in the middle. Now I'm going to put 2 little hash marks on either side here. So to the right of -3 is -2 and -1. To the left of -3 is -4 and -5. So right now, I see this symbol of just less than. This guy means that I need to have an open dot at -3. So we are going to put an open dot at -3, and we are pointing to the left, which means that we are going to draw our line to the left. And you're done. That's how you graph an inequality. Okay, but in number 6, there's something a little wonky here. We have 9 is less than or equal to p. Before you can actually graph this inequality, guys, you have to make sure that your variable is on the left side. And I'll prove it to you here in just a second why that is. So to do that, we literally need to swap our p and our 9. So the p is now going to go on the left side. The 9 is going to go on the right side. And what happens with our sign? Well, our sign is opening towards P, which means that my opening should be towards P, and I should have my underline. Or you can think of it as, since I'm swapping this position, I should swap the sign to make sure that P is on the left side. So you always want the variable on left side. It's important. You must have that. Huge, huge, huge. All right, now once you have it on the left side, now we can actually create our number line. So again, put 9 in the middle. Give me at least 2 tick marks on either side. So to the right of 9 would be 10 and 11. To the left of 9 would be 8 and 7. So let's take a look at our symbol that we've got. We have greater than or equal to, which means this guy is going to be a closed dot at 9. So closed dot. And we are pointing greater than. So numbers that are bigger than 9 or equal to 9. So we're going to draw our arrow out to the right. And that, guys, is how you graph inequalities. So today, you guys are going to use a Google Drawing for your assignment, and you will be doing a few of these same ideas. Feel free to come back and re-watch the video as many times as you need, guys. Happy mathing!